Welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're having good luck with your gardening and all of your projects. And without further ado, let's get to today's. So sorry it's been so long since I posted anything. I've been quite lazy. It's been really hot out and I just didn't feel like doing anything. I was just kind of, I don't know, just enjoying my time having air conditioning and not running the generator to do it. So, well, anyways, enough of my jibber jabber. Let's get to today's project. The new battery configuration. So the stainless steel shelving that I was using, which is now located back there, was sagging. The batteries were too heavy. Even though it has a shelf weight of 260 pounds. I found a good deal on this DeWalt shelf on Amazon. They're all gone now, but I think it was $145, something like that. And each one of these shelves holds over 2,000 pounds. So this is ideal for batteries. So I just split it up and evenly into 3 shelves here so we can put another battery bank down there in the future sometime. And here's our new configuration. So we did have all these in one big long row. It was about 6 feet long. But since this DeWalt shelf is narrower than the stainless steel shelf, I had to do this configuration. It took me a little bit of thinking to figure out how to wire up the BMS, but I got it and I figured it out and I didn't burn anything up. And we've got our couple of new things here. I started making my own bus bars. You can see there's a chunk of copper pipe that I hammered down flat, and then I wrapped electrical tape around the center of it and then painted it black. And same with this one here, this positive. I didn't like the way this heavy gauge, this 2 gauge wire was hanging off of this when I had it directly up here. I was afraid that over time it would bend or break the terminal or damage this. So I built this Z-shape bus bar to relieve all the stress from the terminal so that it can prolong the life of it, get some longevity out of there. And then I just bolted that to our inline fuse, and then that goes to our on-off switch, and that goes down to these bus bars here. We got our positive and our negative, and then we've got our shunt right there. Right now we're not using any power from the batteries. Looks like the voltage on the batteries is low. It should be 56, but there may be some settings that I need to change on the battery monitoring system, because it looks like the batteries are shut off right now. They are communicating, so we don't have any issue there. We don't have any alarms. And it's a input. We got 166 volts, output 127 from our solar array, which is 1.4 amps, 245 watts. Not too bad on a cloudy day. There's a lot of clouds right now, so the panels right now at the moment are in direct sunlight because there's the sun just getting ready to be covered up in the clouds. It's been raining off and on. But here's our new configuration. I'm going to clean up these wires better. I don't like the way they're hanging right there. I want to run them over here and then have them attached to the board. But I wanted to get this done and up and running yesterday before the sun went down so that I could watch my favorite YouTube videos while I relaxed. And then we've got our second battery bank down here. This one is all in parallel. So it's all positive and all negatives connected together, and then we're charging that up. Now I charge it, I've been charging it off and on every single day. When I get up and the sun comes up, I turn the charger on. So we're charging to 3.5 volts, and we're pushing 0.70 amps. So once that reaches 0, then we'll know that the batteries are pretty much charged. And they've been in this configuration now for a week and a half, 2 weeks. So hopefully another 5 or 6 days they'll be charged all the way, but we'll see. I know it takes a very long time to charge these batteries, just because the way they hold voltage is different than a lead acid battery. Lead acid battery has a sharp curve on it down, you know. These has a flat curve, so you go up to about 3.1 volts, and then it's flat, and then it goes up to 3.5. So it takes a very long time to get these initially charged. And once these are charged all the way and level, we will put them back in series, and then we'll do the same thing with these ones and put these in parallel and charge these all the way up to 3.5 volts. So we can have a full battery system and we won't have to worry about anything turning off. Which, I mean, right now everything works fine. I just can't run a bunch of air conditioners with just the single battery pack. For some reason the system doesn't like that. But when I have them both hooked up, I can run 2 air conditioners and they don't care. But once all the batteries are fully charged, then we can start running everything at full power, no problem. I think the only thing we're doing right now that uses power all the time is this ice chest. We got a little deep freeze out here. It's just a little one. I think it's 6 feet long, just over 6 feet long. Yeah, just a little one. So we're gonna buy some meats and start storing them in there. We also got a on-demand water heater and pressure pump for the future shower build. This is propane. I opted out of the electric one because the electric one requires 240 or 220, and we don't have 220 just yet. So I figured the propane one would work just fine. And then also, I've got another set of wires here. These go out to the solar array. So before I filled in the trench for the original wiring from the solar array, I buried another set of wires in some conduit. As you can see, the conduit sticking out of the ground right there, because I thought maybe I should future-proof this so that if I decide to double the solar array in the future, it'll already have wiring out here. So that's what I did. So we've already got another combiner box out here too. You can see that right there. It's not hooked to anything right now. Obviously there's nothing into there. No plugs plugged in, but if I wanted to double this in the future, it is ready to go. So we've already got it wired up and everything's already buried and ready to be used. Obviously I filled it in, you can see in the video here. What else have I been working on? Oh, I know, the shower. We did some upgrades on the shower, the outdoor shower. I'll go show you guys that. And all of our water tanks right now are full. These 2 100-gallon tanks are full. This 1,600-gallon tank is completely full, and in fact, it's so full that water was coming out of here because the water level's up to here, up to the top here. Yeah, it's at 15, just in between 15 and 1600. So it is, the water level's right here, right below this. In fact, this looks like it was leaking. Oh, I gotta be careful. There was a rattlesnake over here earlier. Gotta keep that in mind. He crawled into one of those cinder blocks, but he's not in there now, so I don't know where he went. I got my pole out to catch him and move him somewhere else, but he did that on his own. Oh yeah, shower upgrades. So we have a bench now, which I need to sand down and stain so we don't get slivers in our bum. We hooked up an inline pump. We got rid of the sump pump and we put this diaphragm pump in here, and this gives us way more water pressure. And you just, to turn it on and off, you just turn the water on and off. Before we had this inverter up here, which you had to reach up and turn on and off for the sump pump in there. But with wet hands, it's kind of sketchy. So we eliminated that problem. We've got hot and cold water. Obviously, obviously the solar water heater up there. But we can, you can see the water sprays way out there now. So it's nice. It's easier to rinse yourself off in the morning after taking a shower. And then we'll show you some garden updates, I guess. We're totally redoing the entire garden. This is going to be a very busy, very big project. So there's our old sump tank, the IBC container. I think it's a 300-gallon Could be wrong, I don't remember. I bought this a long time ago. Oh, interesting. We've got some fruit growing down here. Look at that. That's a devil's claw. So when this thing sprouts, it'll open up, turn into a hook, and then when animals walk over, it'll hook onto their ankles, and then they can spread the seeds around. That's cool. I've never seen how they grow. So now I know what those plants are. They're all over the place. The devil's claws. Well, anyways, back on track here. So we dug the sump tank out of the ground, and we dug a gigantic hole. This hole is about 8 foot by 8 foot, and it's about 5 feet deep. So we should easily have about 2,000 gallons of water in this. The plan is we're going to build the walls all the way around it with cinder blocks, and then we're going to fill the cinder blocks in with concrete and rebar. That way we'll have a solid structure so the walls will never cave in from flooding. And then we're going to put a pond liner in there to store the water, and then we'll build some kind of lid out of wood over the top of it to keep myself and animals from falling in there. And then that will give us enough water volume to build the rest of the grow beds. So we're going to have 12 grow beds, and that one 300 gallon IBC tank would not be sufficient to pump water through all this stuff. Oh, we've got some good looking squash plants here. Oh, look, there's some cantaloupe. Yeah, look at that, cantaloupe. There's a couple of them down there. Looks like 2. Don't see any more. All the tomatoes are gone. The hornworms are in here eating all the tomato plants. He went in here with a bucket, and I caught most of them and threw them in the fish tank, and the fish ate them. Yeah, there's no more tomatoes. The leaves are gone. Oh, it looks like there's new growth already, though. Interesting. So these have been turned off now for several weeks. 3 or 4 weeks. Oh, there's a hornworm. Little one. See him under my finger. I'll probably grab that guy and throw him in the fish tank. Oops, I dropped him. Oh well. I'm sure there's more in here. I just can't see them. They're really hard to see. They camouflage really well. And they eat everything. There's also a lot of lizards that hang out in here too. They've probably eaten a lot of the bugs. This one we kind of just let go, which is fine. Everything will be up and running again in probably the next 4 months. I don't know. However long it takes me to finish this. I had to dig up all the plumbing. I had to redesign all the plumbing layout in here too. So we'll have 4-inch pipes that go along this length, 4-inch pipe that goes along this length, and then they will both drain into the sump here and here. And then we can have all the grow beds draining into the 4-inch pipes. It's going to be nice. It would be a pretty good sized garden. I just have so many projects. I'm doing a little bit at a time. I need to focus on one at a time and get it done instead of trying to work on 5 or 6 projects. But I guess that's it for today, you guys. It's kind of a longer video than normal, I guess. But I had to catch you guys up on what I've been working on and what I have not been working on. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, pop those in down below. Give us a thumbs up. And as always, keep building and try to be good to each other. Some of us aren't here for very long, and a little bit of kindness will go a long way. So God bless you all, and peace.